Hello, my name is Aaron. Welcome to my home. I'll be your host for roughly about the next 10 minutes or so while I describe a wonderful vape device that I got in the mail 2 weeks ago from Fastech, and I am talking nothing other than the Smowell 65. Wonderful vape device, got it in the mail, and it instantly turned into a hit, turned into one of my favorite vape devices that I have in my whole entire lineup, being KTS Plus, Stingray, iTaste VV 2.0, Vamo V5, etc., etc. Turned into my most wonderful, my favorite vape device, my go-to device. Spend about 2, 3, 4 hours daily with this device. Absolutely love it. But I'll shut up and just dive right into this. This is the gift box that you would get from Fastech once you got the envelope open. This is what it would look like, an actual gift box style. So if you're giving it as a gift, that's one good product point to take into consideration. Look like a real classy, and it comes real classy as a wonderful gift. Or if you're getting it to yourself, wonderful box to keep on the wayside, store your mod if needed, if you're going to move, whatnot. You be the judge on that. But it comes in black, silver, blue, and gold. And of course I have the blue, and the product's not in here. I'm just going to open this up and show you what comes along with the product. I already have the product set up, good to go for this display, this review. But you would take this protective sleeve off that kind of holds it all together. Magnetically sealed box. Once you'd open that, you'd find your mod, of course, but you're going to find the owner's booklet. Kind of clear. You get the gist of what they're trying to say. It's kind of a Chinese to American little translation. Some things do get lost in translation a little bit, but you be the judge. But so far, questions I have about my device, this booklet's been able to handle it 80 to 90%, which I think is pretty good for something coming from Fastech like that. And then, of course, you're going to find your USB charging. One nice thing about this is the Smowell 65 via a wall charger, a regular wall charger, or a cell phone charger. As long as that charger is 5 volts, it will accept 1 amp and 2 amp. So either which amperage is going to work. They call the 2 amp the turbocharged, and they call the 1 amp the regular charge. Mine's a regular. I use a 1 amp charger. Charges in about 2 to 3 hours. Device says fully charged, good to go. Wonderful. And of course, you're going to find, with all of them, an Allen key. And that's very important. And here is the product, the Smowell 65 with my Aspire Atlantis V2 clone that I purchased also from Fastech. And I'll put all the links to what I'm describing down below. After you get done watching this, you can click on things. I'll put the links to everything I'm talking about down below. But what you would do is with the Allen is it has 3 holes, 1, 2, 3. You'd undo that. I would do it for you, but I don't feel like taking 10 minutes of your time and you being bored with seeing some guy use an Allen key. But you take all those off, put the cover plate down, stick your 18650. That's the only size this device accepts. And also, beware. Very little of this information was out there, but I read it in a white paper. If you use a dimpled 18650 with the little dimple tops, it will crush the recharge circuitry in here. You can only use a flat top 18650 battery. Anything else is going to hurt your device. Crunch. You don't want to hear that. So you put your positives up. They do run 2 of them in parallel. You put them on up there, put the cover plate on, press it with a little bit of force, get those screws down there, tighten them on up. Permanent. You don't have to worry about changing batteries when it runs low, putting batteries in, changing batteries. You circumvented all that just by doing this wonderful thing. Running in parallel, micro USB charge port right there on the bottom. Plug into the wall, 2 to 3 hours later, fully charged, good to go. And be advised, charges last me approximately 2.5 days per charge, and that's vaping for 3 to 4 hours a day. And also, if you forget to turn it off, the product details in the little booklet describe that it has 7 days standby time. So if you forget to turn it off, it will be on, 7 days later if that's when you decide to use it. It will probably tell you it needs a recharge, but it does have 7 days standby time. And for me, I'm getting 2.5 days of use between charges. So that's another good point. Again, got mine in blue. They offer them in black, silver, gold, and blue. This is the blue one. Again, the cloned Atlantis V2 on there from Fastech as well. I have a 0.5 ohm coil. And in regards to that, another nice little point here is any ohm you put on here, it has auto detect. There's something in the circuitry, something on the computer board that will detect the ohm that your device has and that you want to enjoy and vape at. The computer is pre-configured to get within a certain acceptable safe wattage for whatever ohm you under. So that's the auto detect. When I put a 1.5 ohm ProTank 2 on here, it wants to fire at stock standard at 7.5 watts. When I put this 0.5 Atlantis V2 authentic coil in there, it wants to hit it at 30. It'll change, but you have the option for manual override. You can change that if, say, on a 0.5 30 is too hot for you and you prefer 25, 23, 22, 21, you can do it. Another good product point, auto detect ohms. Don't know how they do it, but they do it. Again, your fire, wonderful readout screen, beautiful. You have battery power, the ohms, the volts that your watts are being able to produce that are producing the fire. And right now I got it set for 24.5 watts because that seems to be right where I like it. One nice thing about the fire button and the options, the menu, you can set the timer for your hits. Like my Vamo V5, proprietary, 10 seconds, boom. Device shuts off, you got to hit the fire button again, recycle, boom, you're vaping. This, you can set it for 5 to 25 watts for your safety, pleasure, whatever you want. You're in control. Another good product point, other than the timer, the auto detect for ohms, the factory presets as far as the ohm detect. If you notice right here, inside the plus and minus buttons, you're going to see a small hole where you can put a push pin, thumbtack, whatever is going to fit in there safely and it's not going to scratch it up or damage or make the hole wider. It's a button behind there. You hit it for 3 seconds. It puts your device back into factory reset mode. And within 5 seconds of you depressing that, your device is just as if it just came out of the box, brand new, never been used. I know a couple of my friends have mods, variables that have freaked out on them, that have locked up, and even when they take the batteries out and put them in, it's still locked up. One of them had to mail their device off. It took about a week for the manufacturer to get it. It took a couple weeks for the manufacturer to get around to looking at it, and it took an extra couple weeks to get it back to my friend. I circumvented that. I'm not going to wait for a company to open up my device, look for the secret factory reset switch nobody wants to tell you about, hit it, oh, it's out of the box again, let's mail it back to the customer. Nope. Circumvented that. Wasn't going to play that game. I can do that myself right here in the creature comforts of my own home. So cut down a lot of wait time via FedEx, UPS, or USPS. So that's another good point. Another good point here is just really nice part tube, part box, real funky looking. Going to be an awesome icebreaker for you. Conversation starter. It's going to turn some heads. People are going to look at you as if you're the walking vaping enigma. I've turned some heads with this alien looking device here. And people are like, what the heck do you got? And I show them, but they're like, ooh, that looks kind of cool. So I've actually had people inquire in some social media groups that are vaping related, like, where did you get it and how much you pay? Well, Fastech for $38. And they're like, no way, I just bought the sub box for like, $59 and yours does more and it was less. Yeah. You don't always have to go with a known brand to get the best. But wonderful shape, fits in the hand. You can either grip it, pinch palm it, bring it around. It's great. Ventilation, vent holes for the battery. It's like an old day computer. If you noticed on here, old day computers, you break them open, a lot of heat sink technology going on right there. Heat sink, and a heat sink. Ventilation holes, vent holes, good airflow with this device. It's a wonderful heat dissipator. It never gets hot in my hand. Never have to put it down due to sweaty palms or anything like that. So we have the firing that you can set the timer to. We have the factory reset. We have the auto detect. on here that it will detect to the nearest safe watt to fire your device. It's kind of like an automatic pilot. This does not have variable volts. It only has variable watts, and it can do mech mode through the menu. So those are the two. I like that. Omitting one option, making it a whole lot easier for the public to vape. Just absolutely phenomenal. Handles everything I've thrown at it. ProTank 2s, ProTank 3, ProTank 3 Mini, Orchid V2 K-Fun style, my Vertex RDA, my N22 RDA, my Origin V2 RDA, and of course this Atlantis V2 clone sub-ohm tank that I got from Fastech as well. Handles everything you throw at it. 2 to 2.5 days of solid vaping, 7-day standby time on the battery, USB charging, pass-through technology, 5 to 25 second hit timer, factory reset, wonderful shape, ergonomical, part tube, part box. Don't know really what to call it, and I'd probably sound corny if I tried to generate a little nickname for it. So I'll let you nickname it or clicky catchphrase, whatever you want to do for this thing. But again, 18650s running in parallel, mega power. Right now I got 5,000 mAh, equaling 5,000 mAh right in here. Center floating 510 center pin. It doesn't have a problem lining up with anything that I put on there. Nice, wonderful, soft 510s. Everything that I put on here and everything I take off glides on and off, easy, smooth, butter. And that's pretty much it. Again, 6 watts to 65 watts. And I don't know how they do it, but if you put on something and you're vaping at 65 watts and your device thinks that you need a little bit more on an emergency basis only, don't know where it draws the power, you'll have to research that, it will give you 10 additional watts per hit. Per hit. It won't make it a 75 watt device, but it'll give you 10 additional watts. I don't know right where it draws it from, but 75 watts as an emergency basis per hit on something that calls for a little bit more than 65 watts, but that's per hit. Once you take that device off the top of your mod, that does it. It's back to being a 65 every day of the week, 5 ways come Sunday. But that's pretty much it. Just wonderful. Again, handles authentics, handles clones, made by Smowell. It is the DPV-65 Fastech, $38. Wonderful deal. Does a little bit more than some of the name brand things that are on the market that are more expensive and do less. But again, I very much thank you here, and we'll close it off. What vape product review video isn't complete with somebody taking a hit off their device. So bear with me here. I'm still kind of new with the sub-ohming here. I could cough on you or sound weird after I get done doing this. If I do, I apologize, but I do thank you for watching. And here we go. Set it down to something safe. Here we go. Just wonderful. Flavorful, hits right, hits nice, hits smooth, no rattlesnaking. And what I'm vaping on is a wonderful strawberry and cream 6-nic 65 EG from Vape Wild on a Aspire Atlantis V2 clone on an actual authentic V2 Atlantis coil. And that's just about it. Thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions, just leave some comments, and I'll monitor this on a daily basis and try to answer the questions as they come. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out in my house for a little bit, and thank you for allowing me the time in your life to show you the Smowell DPV-65. Thank you very much for coming. Hope you're having a nice day. Bye-bye now.